You said you had like your best year ever in 2020. Would you say you that lends itself to, because you guys do so much like clinical services wise and all of that. Do you think some of that helped insulate 2020? Because we've had some people say otherwise.
Yeah. Where did the money come from? You said you did great.
Yeah.
You had your best year.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
Well, so that is such a great question. And what we did this year or last year is we used the 4 disciplines of execution structure, and we focused, we set a goal, and we set a goal to increase our sales by 11.5%, which is a super lofty goal from the beginning of the year. So January 1st and through December 31st, 2020. And this was all before COVID.
You set those goals before that, and you're like, oh, wow.
Right. And so we really, we set that overarching goal. And then with our teams, we set individual goals with the teams. A lot of it was focused on MedSync. Nice. So right there, you're getting a good lift with sales with MedSync. We had goals around immunizations, and the teams at the locations, they were aggressive. They set goals, and with that, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the 4 disciplines of execution, but there's setting a goal.
Tell us.
Identifying the lead measures, so identifying those action items that you're going to do, having a scoreboard, and then holding people accountable or holding your teams accountable, holding each other accountable. And that is exactly what happened. That's how it happened. We just were very intentional about those goals. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of really good communication with the teams, and everybody likes to win, right? You like to win.
Yep.
Who doesn't like to win?
Who doesn't like to win?
So it felt like that was really motivating for everybody to feel like they were winning.
All right. So did that? So you had this overarching goal of 11.5%. I'm going to call it across 10 pharmacies. Am I right? 10? Is it 10 total?
Yes, and we 10, and we just added an 11th location. We just added a central pharmacy, so we have 11.
All right. Was there a pretty rigorous process each location of drilling that down to something that's a little more tangible or activity based for that particular role in your pharmacy, like your MedSync tech or your people that run the clinical side with the immunizations piece?
Yeah. So each team came up with their own goal, just to point toward or to reach that 11.5%. And it was something that, and that's an important piece of the formula, is for the team to decide their own goal, because then they're going to be more excited about something that they've chosen. And then exactly what you're describing, Mark, it was broken down into pieces. So if the goal is to increase MedSync by 20%, let's say, then what are the steps that have to be done on a weekly, daily basis to get to that? And it breaks it down to conversations, right? Getting people enrolled. I mean, just breaking it down into something that is you're able to do on those weekly cadence or daily cadence.
So what did that motivation, was there anything besides just winning? What did that motivation look like in those teams?
Yeah, I mean, we would celebrate, like we would have certain marks that if you hit a certain amount, like we had one at the end of the year around Medicare enrollment. And it was if they had a certain number of enrollees, and you don't necessarily see if they actually enroll, but there was, if they were able to hit a number of conversations and providing information out to those potential patients, then they would get a lunch. I mean, we would just do something again to celebrate just the small victories and those that would hit those marks. So yeah, I mean, again, just trying to make it fun and trying to keep everybody engaged so that everybody is contributing to moving forward. There's so much whirlwind in pharmacy, and so much that you're having to do. Being able to focus on a goal, just really, and having one goal, because we're like every other pharmacy, right? There's so many opportunities. And I think one of the biggest things that we did to be able to focus on that is to almost say no to things that maybe are still good opportunities. And I think that was the key. It was really a fun year.
Jeff, you always say a lot. It's just as important to know what you're going to say no to than it is to say what you say yes to.
I think it was who's the rich guy with the Coke? He's a very
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Okay.
He drinks Coke.
Just making sure.
No, I'm trying to think of who I'm thinking of. It's the big investor. He's friends with Bill Gates.
Buffett?
Yeah, Buffett. One of his big sayings is
Buffett.
that success in business is more about what you say no to than what you say yes to.
And it's hard to say no, right? Especially if something is like you feel like you're going to be at the front of it, it's cutting edge, or it's a big opportunity. So it's just prioritizing, right, and seeing what makes the most sense. The other thing that we did is we looked at our mission statement, and we wanted it to be, and we did change it. We changed it at the beginning of 2020, and we really wanted it to be something that everything that we worked on could point to that. And so our first sentence of our mission statement is that we believe the best healthcare is based on relationships and delivered locally. So it kind of has two really important components, and relationships internally, and relationships with our patients, with our providers. And again, that was just something that it's easy to remember. It's something that people can rally behind. And again, when we make decisions on what direction we're going to go with different projects, we kind of look at it and does this point back to what we know why we're here?
So what's our 2021 goal? So 2020, in the absence of knowing all this was coming, we set 11.5%.
23%.
Right. Okay. And so what's our goals for 2021?
Yeah, great. So our goal for 2021 is to increase patient growth, so net patient growth by 25%.
Define. Can you define a little bit net patient growth? Is that new active patients, or is that something else?
Yeah, so it is. It's new active patients, and right now we're going to have to base it on prescriptions.
Okay.
We'd love to be able to do more with the front of the pharmacy, right? I mean, we started with the loyalty program that is available through PioneerRx, but we're looking at growth in prescription transactions.
Right. So this is 25% in patient prescriptions or patients. Which one of those is actually patient?
So
count?
it's actually patients.
It's actually patients based on prescriptions, right? Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
New patients getting prescriptions, right?
Right.
Yes. Exactly.
And so what will we call an active patient?
So we're going to have it be patients that get regular prescriptions, not just one here and there.
Okay.
And I believe we have just an incredible operating officer, Joseph Poling, and he is a whiz at PioneerRx. And so he's identified a report that will work for this goal so that we can track it and be able to, give that feedback out to the teams.
So you had a goal of 11.5. You made it? You hit it?
Yes, 11.59.
Gotcha. Oh man, right.
Nice.
You really managed to it too. That's the thing that goals help you do.
I know.
You manage. It really gives you something to manage to.
Yeah.
And we do that in sales. Jeff, Jeff's instilled that throughout the entire organization. So it's great.